Tuba, I want to start with you. It was our colleague Siphamandla Goge who spoke with Zandile Gumede this morning, and she, of course, sees nothing wrong with her appointment.
Absolutely, that's how the former eThekwini mayor and the former ANC regional chairperson Zandile Gumede feels. She's saying she's been a councillor in eThekwini when she was recalled as the mayor. As you will understand, Thembekile, when the ANC took the decision to recall Zandile and some of her colleagues that were leaving the municipality, they said it wasn't because of the corruption allegations that are labeled against Gumede, but the party said it was because of the poor management that has led to the collapse of the municipality. But Gumede now is saying that she doesn't see anything wrong, and she doesn't see this deployment to the provincial legislature as a promotion, but instead she feels that she will be continuing serving the people of KZN. She was serving people of eThekwini. Now she has been given a more responsibility to serve the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We can listen to Zandile explaining.
Without ANC, there's no country for now.
No, there is a country without ANC.
There is no country without ANC. If you go
without the ANC-led government, yes.
If you go back, what has happened? It's only the ANC that has made sure that the lives of the people are being taken care of. That's why the opposition parties are doing their work, what they are doing. By them opposing Zandile to be in parliament, is because they know exactly that how hard we can work for the ANC and for our poor communities.
Let me come to you, ENCA political editor. What is the broader party to make of this? Because they were taking a big enough lashing yesterday. This will no doubt make things worse.
Well, this is a problem when you are inconsistent and when you are not prepared to call things what they are. You would have thought that by now everyone should know why it was that Zandile Gumede was asked to step aside as the mayor of eThekwini instead of sugarcoating it. And so because there was no truth or clear direction right from the start, I guess you can't really blame Zandile Gumede for saying that, you know, I wasn't asked to step aside because of corruption. And now that a year has gone by without any charges having been pressed, so I deserve to be, you know, taken back to another position of responsibility because I have done nothing wrong. And it doesn't end with the ANC, one must say, Thembekile, because we are just as guilty, because we are prepared to condemn a Zandile Gumede when she says what she said today, that without the ANC there will be no country. But we are not prepared, or at least many of us unprepared, to say the same thing when President Cyril Ramaphosa makes a similar remark. What that does, perhaps we don't appreciate it, or we haven't appreciated it as much as we should have, is that we then strengthen the hand of the vile and the corrupt people within the ANC, because they then start saying if it is true for Zandile Gumede, it should then also be true for Cyril Ramaphosa. So until these double standards that we are condemning on the part of the ANC, we also condemn on the part of us all, whether we are journalists or analysts or society at large. Many people, I mean, if you look at some of the comments, many of the comments that people are making on the back of the statement that Zandile made earlier today about the ANC, people are appalled, but we are not consistent. Take a listen to what Zandile Gumede had to say about the ANC versus country.
In fact, it's not a reward. As I've told you that I've been the councillor of eThekwini and also the deputy president of SALGA and also the coordinator, the deputy coordinator of eThekwini in the African National Congress. It's not a reward. It's a continuation of working for the community because they know how hard I can work. There's no reward. I'm just continuing. It's just to open another door for me to continue working for the people. There's no reward on this one, but it's to continue working for the society.
I'll come back to you for the political implications. Let's go back to Tuba in Durban. And Tuba, Zandile Gumede believes she's in fact a woman who's under siege from the media. She's being targeted and her reputation tarnished by journalists.
Absolutely. I think what Mvogo has just said now, I think even us as media, we should be very critical, especially to the ANC or to some leaders of the ANC in a point that we've been critical to people like Zandile Gumede, because the way how she feels like we only targeting her simply because she's a woman. She's been saying that for a number of occasions, and we've not been consistent as well as the media to other leaders of the ANC. But to look at this now, I think leaving aside Zandile as a person, but I think it put the ANC on the spot to say, how do you recall a person that is facing serious fraud and corruption charges, and then you are saying the person has collapsed the municipality, but at the same time you redeploy that person into the higher position, the provincial legislature, where she will be leading the people of KwaZulu-Natal. I think the ANC going forward, especially towards the election, that's when we're going to see the ANC getting resistance from the voters. As you understand and remember, maybe what happened during the 2016 local government election, where people were so upset about the ANC and some didn't even vote or voted for other parties because they were angry because of the decisions that were taken by the ANC. So even with this particular decision, we might see similar instances where people will go, will decide either not to vote or to go for other political parties. But as for Zandile, I think she didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, let's come to you, Vuyo, then, about the political implications and what's likely to happen. Because as you were saying, often when these things happen, the outrage is immediate but never long-lasting.
It did, and probably nothing will actually happen. And here's why, at least in part. Zandile Gumede is very strong, leads, in fact, the biggest and probably, one of the most powerful regions of the ANC currently in the entire country, and that's eThekwini. She is almost set to be re-elected as the chairperson of that region. Now, even the most powerful, or those people who hold the highest political offices in the country, know very well that without the backing of such regions, you cannot rise to important political offices. President Cyril Ramaphosa knows that very well. In fact, he owes his rise in no small measure to these powerful forces within the ANC. And that is why she feels, he always, like he often says, that he is not here to destroy the ANC or to mess with its unity. So Zandile Gumede remains this powerful force that many people shouldn't mess with. And that, for me, is the only reason that the ANC has to bring her back. And she's not alone. Remember, in the run-up to elections, MEC Faith Mazibuko of sports and culture in Gauteng made comments about combi courts. Remember, she forced officials to actually go against, the rules and actually speed up a process of establishing combi courts. And she made it clear in her remarks, which were recorded clandestinely, that she was doing so because she wanted to increase the prospects of the ANC being elected. And the Integrity Committee of the ANC actually arrived at a ruling that she should be asked to vacate her office. That didn't happen because she is powerful within the Women's League, and she's a very powerful figure in Gauteng ANC politics. So even though the Integrity Committee took a decision, that decision was never implemented. Compare or contrast that with what happened about 2 weeks ago, where two mayors who were not found to have been corrupt, but were said to have done nothing, and money was invested in VBS under their watch. So one person who actually committed a bigger sin, if you like, was left alone, whereas other people who are not bringing with them significant constituencies, were actually punished. So those inconsistencies are what leads me to say nothing is going to happen in this instance, because a lot of powerful people from the province and nationally need a Zandile Gumede for them to keep on doing what they are doing and occupy the positions that they continue to hold.
ENCA political editor Vuyomvoko and ENCA reporter Tuba Vilane, thank you both, gentlemen.